Yeah, how you going? Welcome to the show. Yes, it's the only variety show that Australia has now. So now what I've got to do is try and get my variety show being the best show on the business, on the airwaves. Let's vote me for... well, can I get someone to actually put me forward to the Logies? Why can't I represent the independents as a Logie contender? I mean, I've been there and done that. I've done all the things that's required of me as being a variety show. I have my guests. I have my music. I have my laughter. I have the dancers. Only thing I haven't got is my offsider. Now, I have Philly. She's turning up in March. Ellen, that'd be nice to have her on as offsider. Who else do I need? Someone bold. Because there was always someone that's on those shows that used to be that they can take the mickey out of. Don Lade took the mickey out of Bert Newton. Now we know where Bert Newton is now because his son is the one who's over in America causing all the trouble. He was on one of our shows and he was a good actor. Then all of a sudden he screws his mind up and does all these stupid things. Like all the things in the past you see that actors today, it's like first nudity. You know what my first nudity was? Now just think, in 1976 was our first time we had colour TV in Australia. Now in my young years, the nudity we had was breast self-examination in black and white. Now this girl would come on and she would play with her boobs and check to see give the example of how to find cancer in your breasts. They used to have a thing coming on before it saying that this is a free broadcast for women of Australia to find breast cancer. That was my first thing to see of nudity on TV. Then there was the naked bunyip. Then there was Alvin Purple. But we had to go to the pictures to do that, but it wasn't. Although the reason we went to see Alvin Purple was to see Abigail. Because why do we want to see Abigail? Because she was in number 96. Number 96 was the show of the day for Australia to give something of the alternate side of things. Now, in these days, we didn't have SBS. We had one ABC, one Channel 7, one Channel 9, one Channel 10. That was it. They were the channels we had. Now we've got 18. Plus Sky Channel and whatever else you want to put to it. Number 96. There was some funny bits in it. There was some laughter. There was some jokes. There was seriousness. The first act of homosexuality. But even then, it was hidden underneath the covers. It wasn't as if they come out for it. And then the next thing I know, the guy who's playing the homosexuality isn't actually a homosexual. He has a wife and kids. It's like watching Play School, our Play School. I was watching it the other day, and there was two guys on there doing Play School. One was on Channel 9 as a crime fighter, and the other one was used to be on Neighbours. So I'm thinking, is this a good thing or a bad thing? Even Ian McFarlane, he used to be in our Flying Doctors. He gets on there occasionally, but he's a happy soul. Yes, he's come out and said, I'm a happy soul. And he was in Flying Doctors. No, Flying Doctors. Now, my claim to fame on Flying Doctors is the Nomad. The Nomad is the aircraft we used to make down in the government aircraft factories. So now whenever I see the Nomad, we recognise that's an Australian-built aeroplane. Now, our army used to have them until they started putting them through the things that they shouldn't do, and the tails started falling off. But it wasn't those ones that were falling off, it was the extended version. What they didn't like was the fact that the maintenance they had to do on it, and how hard it was to do the maintenance, because when we built the aircraft around the hard bits, so that later on you didn't have to get to the hard bits because they're disposable. It was a disposable aircraft. Spare parts were just there if they needed it. If they needed it, well, they just knocked a hole in it and replaced it. Now getting back to the Logies. Now what other show? Oh, the next thing we saw of nudity was the box. Now there were some flirtatious people in the box. And from then there was a gap. There was a gap. Now, the only thing we used to have when I joined the Navy, we still only had the 4 channels, but then we had the SBS come on. And then we had to do was watch the foreign movies. Watch the foreign shows. Because there seemed to be more nudity in the foreign shows. And the US used to show some good shows, but then they got censored. And they're over-censored. Then we had to wait for the German movies and the Italian movies and the French movies. I can remember in the old days, for those who used to live in Melbourne, there was a place in Elizabeth Street, and there was a cinema, an X-rated cinema, showed R-rated movies. Now I was only 14. I might have been in mid-13. And I was walking down Flinders Lane and saw this stairway going down into somewhere. And I just wanted to see where it was going to take me. I walked down there and I realised it was the rear exit to this cinema. So I would go around and look for old tickets that people had thrown away from going into the cinema, pick up the ticket, act as if I'd been to the toilet and go in and watch the movies. There's the R-rated movies in the old days. These were the days when they used to have push bikes. And on the push bikes they'd have holes drilled in the seats, and they'd have dildos going through the seat. And as they pedal, the dildo would go up and down in the seat. Now that was Australia's adult industry. I was getting to know it when I was 13. So now our television just inundated. I'm watching Weeds. Now the girl on Weeds, she's got hot nipples. She was getting banged on the bar the other day, and she was just hot. Then there's Californication. We have our crime shows too, but they're not so much of nudity as the sex, or let's just have. They have the same sort of inclinations as those shows do, although there was some nudity in it. In our, I'm trying to think what shows were called. Australian crime shows, crime movies. The one we're having this year is called Squizzy. Australian drug movies. Drugs. That was all about drugs. It was all about drugs. And where they used to do, one of the films they did was in Melbourne. It was just around the corner where this is my Alzheimer's. I was watching Back to the Rafters tonight and seeing that this guy who was having this thing about not remembering things. Now I understand what he's doing now. I know I'm over 50, and I know I should be prompting myself about these things. But I'm not going to go on medication because these drug lords are making too much on these things. Should I stick to the principles? I'm not sure. But anyway, our guest tonight is Blue Mink, a British band. Band. They were around from 1969 to 1974, and I'll tell you more about them at the end of the song. Okay, this is Blue Mink, and this is Banner Man. Here we go, I'll turn it up for you.
So we waved our hands as we marched along, and the people saw that we sang our song, and the world was made that they listened to the band. And the banner man, he was 10 feet tall, and he touched the sky. I wish that I could be a
Banner Man. Alright, I won't ruin it.
We went home and the cornets played, and the jukebox clapped all the way, and the kids and the dogs were laughing as they ran. And the banner man held the banner high with an hallelujah in his eye. I wish that I could be a banner man.
Glory, glory, glory. Listen to the band. Sing that same old story. Pain is going bad.
Like a
Blue man.
So we reached the square at the top of the hill, and the music stopped, and we stood quite still, and the people were saved, and the people said amen. Then we all got up, and we formed the queue, and the drums went bang, and the cornets blew, and we marched right down into the town again. Glory, glory, glory. Listen to the band. Sing that same old story. Hey, there's something grand. Everybody shoot down like the band. Glory, glory, glory. Listen to the band. Sing that same old story. Hey,
Ain't something bad. That was Blue Mink. And Blue Mink was a British 5-piece pop group that existed from 1969 to 1974. Over that period, they had 6 top 20 single hits in the UK singles charts and released 5 studio-based albums. According to AllMusic, they have been immortalised on a string of compilation albums, each recounting the string of effervescent hits that established them as Britain's best-loved pop groups in the early 1970s. Now, Blue Mink itself, the labels were Philips, Regal, Zonophone, and EMI. Associated acts, David and Jonathan, the Pimpkins, and Sky. The members were Roger Coulomb, Madeleine Bell, Roger Cook, Alan Parker, Herbie Flowers, Annie Odshall, Barry Morgan, and Ray Cooper. Now, yes, Blue Mink is on Wikipedia, so if you want to know more about them, I can go on about it, but I don't think I need to. But I can tell you, the members continued with their session work despite the success of the band. In March 1970, Cook, Bell, Parker, Morgan appeared on Elton John's eponymous first solo album. Elton John covered Good Morning Freedom anonymously on the Deacon Records budget compilation album, Pick of the Pops. So they lasted a fair while. So Blue Mink, make sure you check up on Wikipedia more about them. Now, getting back to the Logies. Now, joke of the day. Now, the one I heard the other day, it was pretty good. Now, I'm not being feminist or anti-feminist, but the joke was, why was the blonde girl looking at the orange juice? Because it's an orange concentrate. Concentration? Orange concentration? Needs concentration? That's what it was. Now, the shows I was talking about from Australia, Underbelly. They happened in Melbourne. They've happened in Sydney as well. But days gone past, there have been crimes that happened around my area. I tell you what I used to do, and no one else, I bet no one else does it. As a 7 and 8 year old, I would roam the streets of Pascoe South, going from house to house, asking for dead matches. Dead matches. Dead matches. And I'd end up, by the end of the year, I'd have 2 shoeboxes full of dead matches. And I would donate those matches to the jail at Pentridge. Now, come Christmas time, I would get a Christmas letter from Pentridge inviting me to the jail for the Christmas party. And here I am, a 7 and 8 year old, being driven up by my mum and dad to go to a Christmas party in a jail. That's my introduction to the jails. Now, when you walked in to see what they'd done with these matchsticks, you will be amazed. They made yachts, sailing ships, cars, all out of matchsticks. What they used to do is the colour of the matchstick on the ends would be the pattern that would set up the matchstick to what it is. I should go on and see what match, if there's any on the net, to see if I can show you what they look like, and I will post them on Twitter as part of my expertise in the Pentridge. I've actually been to 2 jails. I've also been to Goulburn Jail for character guidance. Wouldn't like to be there. Oh, it's a cold place. I understand. I think that if people really knew what the jails were like inside the jail as a young fellow, they'd understand why everything they do should be done as being right, not being wrong. Now, so there I have my show, my music, my jokes, the documentaries to represent who I can talk about. Now, I could go for an hour doing this and put on another song, which I should do, and have a guest on my own. I could have a family guest, but they don't like to come on here because they don't like to show themselves as much as I do. But they do watch Ellen, and they will watch variety shows. Now, if I was on a TV doing a variety show for Australia, for which they should do, I can do it. What about SBS as new TV? NITV? Come on. I'm Australian. Why shouldn't I be able to come on to NITV to represent the Australian as what it should be as a variety show? ABC, there's 4 channels. There's actually 3 channels for SBS. There's 3 channels for Channel 7, 3 channels for Channel 9, and 2 channels for Channel 10. So, somewhere along the line, they need a variety show. Give me a call, 0411 508 639, and also to those who see this, and if there's an opportunity to put forward the Logies, because I've noticed that on TV they've already started advertising themselves as wanting to be part of the Logies. If they can advertise themselves, why can't I? So that's the 26th of February 2013. It's 11:03, 23:03 for the sailors, and that's my day, my night, and then we'll catch you again tomorrow. Tomorrow we will have, our guest tomorrow will be Chickaboom. Now Chickaboom is sung by Daddy Dewdrop. And I'll tell you all about Daddy Dewdrop tomorrow. Alright, love us all. Take care, and we'll catch you then. Bye.